What up, YouTube? What up, friends and fam? It's your boy Kenny Lucas. I wanted to touch base on this because I was watching the news this morning while I was on the treadmill, and I'm like, these people don't even know what oil is. You know what I mean? I don't even know if some of the politicians know what oil is, honestly. So crude oil. There's crude oil. That's the stuff that where you see that, you know, they call them a donkey or whatever, a nodding donkey. I don't know the exact term for it, but you know, you figure like that's just that, like it's a crude oil pump. You know what I mean? That's what you think of when you think of crude oil. At least what I do. And what crude oil is, it's crude oil is crude oil. You know what I mean? Crude oil has different components. I don't know all the different components of what they do, but I know there's diesel. You know, you have to extract all these off the crude oil. There's gasoline, there's diesel, there's kerosene. There's the stuff that makes asphalt. You know what I mean? That's like the bottom of the barrel type shit. But this all comes from crude oil. But another thing that crude oil does is that it makes plastic. I've never heard anybody say this. I just, through my own research, I found this out, that that plastic is made from oil. So when you think of the war of oil or why oil is so important, I used to think it was just gasoline and fucking oil for the heat in the house and, you know, my car. I never knew about that, you know what I mean? So these same politicians that are pushing electric cars and everything going electric, they're fucking bullshitters because the Tesla is mainly made out of fucking oil. Like, you need oil to make that car. You need plenty of fucking oil to make Tesla, because I'm sure there's a lot of plastic on it. I'm sure in the manufacturing of the metal and whatever else is in there, the car interior, clothes, oil. There's oil in your clothes, man. Like, everything's made of oil. Nobody knows this. I don't know why we didn't learn about this in school, but we didn't. I don't fucking know why. It blows my mind. Well, you know, I kind of know because they want to keep this all a secret, so they keep everybody dumb. They're not going to be smart. You know what I mean? The base of the dollar is really based off oil, man. It really fucking truly is based off oil. Hold on, I got to order my coffee. All right, so where were we? Yeah, so, you know, when you think like fake leather, clothing, anything that has that synthetic feel to it, you know, unless it's like 100% cotton, maybe it doesn't have oil in it, but a lot of our clothes have oil in it, and just something that's not talked about at all, because that's the reason why we're at war in oil, and that's the reason why Biden's a fucking idiot for not producing as much oil as we once were. I'm pretty sure we still are the #1 producer of oil in the world, but, you know, Russia's close behind, Iran and Iraq, you know, all that. See, the difference between us and Iran and Iraq, in the Middle East, it's super easy to get to the oil. Like, you can fucking dig a hole and there's oil, you know what I mean, type shit. But here, I think they're like in Texas and maybe in North Dakota, there's stuff like that where you can just dig a little hole and then you'll access to oil. But mainly all the oil comes from fracking, which is when you put a fucking pipe down there and you pretty much destroy not destroy the earth, but crack that rock down there, because shale is a rock. And so, you know, the oil comes from the shale rock, so you have to split the rock open. Once the rock is split open, you inject water into it, and that makes the oil rise. And then once you get the oil up, you put sand back into it. It's pretty interesting stuff. Hold on, I gotta get my coffee. All right, I'm back now. I got my coffee. But yeah, this is the shit they don't tell you, man. This is the shit they do not tell you in school at all. Because, like I said, they want to keep you dumb, because if you knew this information, you would know more than they want you to know. You know what I mean? I seen this, kind of off subject, but I seen this quote from what's his name, the guy that owns Tesla there, Elon Musk. So I saw a quote from Elon Musk saying you can get $100,000 loan right out of high school to go to college, but you cannot get a $10,000 loan right out of high school to start a business. That right there fucking says everything. That fucking says everything, because if some of y'all would just put yourself out there and notice how fucking easy it is to start a business. Like, nothing's easy. No, nothing's easy. My take on it, it's harder to keep a normal job than start a business. Like, why? What's encouraging you to start it? Like, just hold the normal job and make fucking nothing a week, or $500 or $1,000 a week. I make that in a fucking day on the regular. You know what I mean? I make $500 to $1,000 on the day in the regular. Maybe not right now because I'm a little bit slow, but actually today I will. You know what I mean? Like, when we're taking down trees, that's what I make on the fucking regular. If I make less than $1,000, let me see. Is it less than 1,000? Yeah, if I make, 500 to 1,000 consecutively. If I make less than $500 when I'm taking down trees, something's fucking wrong. I did something wrong. When I'm doing these leaves, I don't make that much. I make like $250 or $500 a day or some shit. To me, the leaves aren't even fucking worth it. It's just, it is money, but it's fucking aggravating, you know what I mean? I'd rather just take the winter off, but I got guys I gotta feed, so. But yeah, I want you to think about that, and next time you see the news, and do your research on crude oil and what it actually is and what all this is actually about. It's not about fucking gasoline and fucking diesel and shit, you know? Like, we have electric cars, right? But you cannot make an electric car without fucking crude oil. They're not saying that. They are not fucking saying that. And, you know, these people talk about, you know, all these products like plastic free or whatever, like these paper products, for example. I want to know if those are oil free. You know, I think that's the most important thing, because oil is the most corrupt thing in this fucking world. You know what I mean? So I think that's the most important thing that people do not fucking talk about, because I don't think anybody really knows. They haven't really, you know, done the research on it. And then also when you research crude oil, it says like medicine is made by crude oil too, which I don't know what the fuck that means. Like, is it just the material of the medicine or whatever? But there's, you know, there's certain materials that we use in crude oil that nobody fucking knows. Nobody will teach you in school. So yeah, that's what oil is really about. I discovered this because I did a little research when I was out in North Dakota, because I'm like, first of all, everybody should go to North Dakota or Texas and see the oil fields. Like, if you haven't been out there and you're American, go the fuck out there. Just experience it, you know what I mean? Go to fucking oil heads, you know? It's pretty fucking cool, especially at night. There's a giant fucking flame, and it's trippy. It really is. The shit that goes on out there, they don't talk about. They do not talk about. But anyway, so I was doing a little research when I was out there, because I was like, what the fuck is the hype about oil anyway? You know what I mean? Like, I understand it powers our fucking cars, and I understand that it heats our house. But then once I found that shit out, I'm like, that makes sense. It makes clothes. Like, the richest people in this world, or the richest companies in this world, are clothes companies. I'm pretty sure Louis Vuitton is one of the richest people in the world. You know, and you figure electronics, you cannot make fucking electronics without fucking crude oil at all. At least we don't know how to, you know. So that's the reason why we can't just stop producing oil, because we rely on it for everything. You know, if we knew how to make an electric car without oil involved in the process, then yeah, we'd probably be able to cut back on it even more. But we don't know how. If we knew how to make clothing the way that we wear them now without oil, we'd probably cut back, but we don't know how. Because everything's mass production, you know what I mean? Everything is mass production. All the politicians care about the fucking money, because these people are the ones that probably own the clothing companies. They're the ones that probably own Tesla, you know what I mean? They're pushing this shit for a greener universe, but it's really not going to be that. You know what I mean? That's the subject trying to get past. But with that, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I got to head over to the job site. I love you guys. Peace.